Hello, relatives. Welcome to this week's Schlagbite for the week July 10th, 2017, entitled Restoring My Balance. I'm just back from our annual Oregon Country Fair reunion, and it's always an energy that sustains me, and it couldn't have come at a better time because I needed to restore some sense of joyful balance to my life. My recent diagnosis of a chronic heart disease was keeping me focused on my limitations. In the practice of medicine, as soon as you give something a name, it intensifies its power because it comes with its own language, procedures, and probabilities. As laypeople, we surrender to the doctor's considerable knowledge, and we trust that they will help us make good decisions and achieve favorable outcomes. As a physician myself who understands some of the basic dynamics, I started taking my blood pressure and monitoring my heart rate, and slowly my focus became preoccupied with what it is that might happen tomorrow and not what I was living today. At the Oregon Country Fair, the moment is all there is. While I was in Eugene, I visited my friend David Oakes, a 62-year-old disability activist and the legendary founder of Mind Freedom International, an international advocacy group for psychiatric survivors. In his midlife, David was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, which results in one's body becoming severely hunched over. And despite his condition and pain, he worked every day. 5 years ago, while he was doing some repair work on his roof, he fell off and broke his neck and was rendered wheelchair-bound and quadriplegic. He can manipulate his wheelchair with his right hand. He speaks with assisted voice amplification because his diaphragm is too weak to sustain conversation, and he's still working every day. And I asked him how he managed to come to every day with such joy. And David said, "I don't look at my life as behind me. I want to create a revolution that illuminates injustice in the world." And I looked at him, and he restored my balance too. And then I dropped off my wife at her sister's home in Olympia, Washington, and took a 3-day fishing trip with my beloved friend John Coryath, a psychobiologist, learning theorist, and co-founder of the Turtle Island Project. We fished a little, but mostly it was talking and walking endlessly. We were on the Makah Indian Reservation in Nia Bay, Washington, and decided to walk one of the great scenic trails in America, and then stand at Cape Flattery, the westernmost point in the continental United States. The trail is about a mile long. There are some steep inclines, and the footpath is very uneven. Knowing I had to walk back and puffing pretty heavily, I decided to stop just before the trail ended. I felt a little disappointed about not finishing, but I lay down on a bench in this rest area that overlooked an exquisite scene. Treetopped cliffs that plunged hundreds of feet down into the rolling surf, enormous stone monoliths that rise from the seafloor and are etched by wind and water into arches and caves. It was spectacularly beautiful. John continued on, and when he returned, I said, "I can probably make it down now," and he looked at me incredulously and asked if I was out of my mind. "Take a look around you," he said. "Have you ever seen anything more beautiful? And look how far you've come. You'd better pray that you make it back up, because I don't want to have to call Elaine." I'm in better balance now. I say thank you more I ask for support when I'm lightheaded. When I get up quickly, I'm grateful that I can still walk and flap my lips and tell my stories for as long. It is the same old story about facing whatever you've got, understanding that's you who have it, not it that has you. Choose to live in the now. Surround yourself with joyful, loving people because they'll restore your balance and fill your cup with joy today. Have a great week while it is. I say this for all my relations. Mitakuye.